Hola to Podcastville from the Casa. This is episode 24 of Ride Along with Run Man. I'm your host, Run Man. This is an aside podcast. This is going to be one of many, probably, because anytime that we ride, I want to podcast it, or at least I want to at least consider it. So in this case, riding means breath work. Wim Hof breath work. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's the subject of this particular episode. So, breathe along with Breathboy, episode whatever. We'll begin. And you'll notice I'm wearing a belt, and you'll notice that I'll be sitting up for this. I highly recommend that you find yourself a nice lie-down position. Grab a little bit of water to start off with if you want to. You can end with water as well. But this is a pretty fast thing. Once we begin, we're just going to carry it right on through to the end. You can follow along with me. You can pause during the breath holds if you would like to extend your breath holds. I cap out at about 3 minutes, 30 seconds on a good day, laying down first thing in the morning while hyper relaxed in bed. It's about 3 in the afternoon, and I thought I'd get my breath practice out today. So this is what we're going to be doing. So I'm probably not going to last that long for these breath holds. So if you need to come up for air faster, great. Just begin breathing whenever you're ready, and I'll go through the method really quick, and then we'll just jump right in. So here's the method. We take 30 really, really big breaths. On the last big breath, we let the air out and we just chill down there with less air happening in the lungs, right? We just don't do anything. And then after 30 seconds, a minute 30, however long we go until we feel a strong urge to breathe, we hold. And when it comes time, we breathe in one more time, really, really nice and big, hold it. If you want to compress your air chamber, you can. 15 seconds of that, and then we're good. I see that I won't actually need my stopwatch because I have my little stopwatch right there on the screen right there, so that's good. By the way, this is the phone that I record with, this is the headset that I record with, this is the face that I record with, so that all said and that all aside, let us begin with the 30 big breaths, and perhaps I can even tick them off with my hands for you. Okay, so get comfortable. Get comfy. Okay. 3. Oh yeah, by the way, big breaths equate to something like this. Boom. Easy. Breathe your way. That's my way of doing it. And don't worry, we're gonna mess this up plenty of times, but we'll do our best, right? Because we're riding. Okay, commencing the breath in 3, 2, 1. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Ten more. I'm going to speed up a little bit. And last one, really big. Okay. Oh, pardon. Whew, that was intense. Okay, that's one cycle. So, 2 more cycles, and I'll just at least 2 more cycles, and we'll just dive right back in. I'll just count the breaths verbally this time. So, in is this. Out is this. We're not forcing the air out. We're just letting it out, and then we're breathing it again. Okay, so we'll use the timer this time as well, and I'll show you so we can kind of follow along with timing, since it doesn't sync up perfectly with the view time here. So, without further ado, 30 more breaths in 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, nice big breaths, 29, and big. There's got to be a better way to do this. I should have started on like the 1 minute mark or something. Hey, no biggie, right? So we're on cycle number 3. El número 3. Primero. I think that means begin. I don't know. Okay, so in a couple of seconds, we'll begin again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I'm definitely getting some lightheadedness. 28. We're going to try to beat 136. 29. So, for the first round, I don't know how much I did. For the second round, I really let a lot of air out. My lungs really wanted to go down deep, so I let them. And it was 1 minute 36 seconds. The third and final round was 2 minutes 9 seconds. So again, if you hung in there with me, awesome. If you needed some more time down in the breath hold world, then hopefully you paused. This is the hardest possible way to do this technique, to record it and to try to do a tutorial on it. So maybe I'll do an audio only version. I don't know. I'll probably do this again sometime and kind of work out the bugs. But I highly recommend going onto YouTube. Perhaps I'll provide a link in the description if that's possible of this episode. What you want to do is go to YouTube and type in Wim Hof breathing tutorial. There's one for beginners and there's one for intermediate level folk. That's like 30 seconds or a minute longer on average for the breath holds. But anyway, so I hope you all had a good time. I'm feeling much better. Typically I'll go for 4 rounds, but since this is just a toe in the water, and we're just kind of introducing the idea of diverging from just the running aspect of the podcast, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a taste. And I thought, because riding along is all about watching me struggle and doing things in real time as I talk or as I podcast or whatever, since that is the whole nature of things, the development, the practice, and the fact that nothing that I do is perfect, and that we shouldn't be holding ourselves to that kind of standard. We should just be continuing to cultivate a relationship with these practices and get better at them, especially if we're interested in them and especially if they're healthy. If this speaks to you, then yeah, we'll do more of these. It certainly speaks to me. As for myself, again, I do these first thing in the morning every day, 4 cycles or so. Typically, my first cycle is 2 minutes 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Second cycle is something like 2:45. Third cycle is something like 3. Fourth cycle is anything up to 3.5 minutes. Sometimes I'll, creep back down into the 2-minute category, and then, I often, just like I did this time, I make mistakes and that kind of thing. I really almost passed out for one of those as well. I really went down deep with the compression of the air chamber on the 30th breath. You can do that, and you'll dive a little bit deeper. It just stresses your body out a bit more, and it makes a higher demand of the oxygen that has been a part of the equation, or something like that. I honestly forget the logistics of it, but I do know that it's been advised by Wim Hof himself to do that. A little bit of a light air compression, airway compression, during any of the big breaths, such as the 30th breath or the recovery breath. So those are 2 places you can compress your air chamber if you want a little bit of added, intensity. I had to kind of hold on to the thing that I'm sitting on. Anyway, so that was my experience. What was your experience? Again, I recommend doing this on your own using the Wim Hof app or going onto YouTube and checking stuff out. Clearly, this is a reverse image, so you didn't really get to see what was going on. And I didn't record it perfectly. I didn't count perfectly. This is all in progress, right? So, yeah, we're not worried about perfection around here. What is our motto, right? What was the motto of the podcast? Now that I'm not running, I can't think of it. Shoot, I can't think of it. Low expectations, high morale. Expectations are low, morale is high. There it is. We did it. Oh my god. So, this has been episode 24 of the Ride Along with Run Man podcast, where we were definitely riding, although we weren't running. We were definitely sharpening the toolkit, sharpening the tools in the toolkit, and we were doing it together in a space of mutual support. And I hold space for you if you want to continue to develop yourself in any way, shape, or form. I hope this encourages you if you do any of those things. And if you don't, I caution you not to self-deprecate too heavily. I would advise, look at the places in your life where maybe you don't consider, but after a little bit of introspection, you realize, oh yeah, I do kind of put effort into these things that I'm interested in. Whether it's art or whether it's researching something, or whether you're making a podcast, or whether you're just getting outside for half an hour a day, or whether you're going out barefoot and trying to toughen your feet up, or whether weights, or brushing up on your social skills. Anytime that you've ever had a conversation where you've stepped back and took a little space and thought, oh, maybe I can approach this a little bit better, you got to give yourself some credit. You're writing. When you're doing that, you're doing the same thing as I'm doing right now. And I'm holding space for you to do that. Because what's up, man? We're all in this together. None of us are making it out of this alive, and we're all in this together. So, as long as that's the case, as long as we're doing the human game and this craziness, then I want to support your efforts, and I highly recommend this breath practice. It really does kick my morning in the pants every single time. I receive tremendous relaxation from it, and also tremendous energy simultaneously. It's the best of both worlds. It's an unlikely cornucopia of abundance, and I don't personally get that experience from many things in this life. So when I find something like that, I ride with it. So, hey, hope you had fun. Hope you learned something. I'm not going to apologize for the presentation of this podcast. It is a grassroots working operation. We are doing our best, and maybe by the next time we roll out a Wim Hof podcast, I'll have some ideas to float by, or I'll have a way of presenting it that's a bit more streamlined or fluid. I already had an idea in round 2 or 3 just to be like, while we're down there, with very little air in the lungs, to just be like 1 for like 1 minute, and then like for 2 minutes, maybe, just so we can do something like that. The finger counting was tough, and the verbalizing anything made everything tougher, and just the sitting up aspect of it made it tougher as well. And I got more winded, or not more winded, but more stimulated and more lightheaded. And I got that lip tension that I get when I go really deep for a really long period of time faster. So this has actually been one of the more intense, less psychoactive, less psychedelic for sure, but more physically intense practices I've ever done. So thank you for being a part of that. We've definitely broken new ground, and I didn't expect that to happen on a podcast where I talk about it as I'm doing it. I thought if anything, we're going to be receiving less effects because I'll be all self-conscious for the camera or whatever, or because that space is set, it's just going to be an extra demand on my energy. So I didn't know what to do, what was going to come of that. So I'm quite proud of this, quite happy with it. And if you want more of this, then let me know. I'll probably do it again anyway. Maybe audio, maybe some way or other. But yeah, so hey, have a great day. Have a good evening. Have a good whatever. And I'll tell you what, we'll catch you on the flip-flop. Maybe we'll be running tomorrow. I'm not running today. I got stuff to do. I've already kind of brushed aside a couple of things. We're just trying to work with the bandwidth, right? We're making it happen. So, with that in mind, let's ride on out and bring this home. Have a good day. Love ya. Goodbye.